Hey gang, what's up? Listen, I get some questions from people that know me that say, why don't you do videos on wood carving or pyrography, which is wood burning in my language? And it's pretty simple why I don't. There's about 1,000 people out there that do it that are more qualified to do it than I am, whose speaking abilities are better than mine, whose memory is better than mine. I mean, that's where I learned wood carving from a man named Gene Messer, and I can never come close to anything he does. But I learned the basics from him and how to be able to do it without pulling my hair out or cutting my hand off or anything like that. So that's what my suggestion is. If you want to learn that stuff, go to YouTube, type in whatever it is you want to learn, see if you can get some videos. Not everything is good. Like I said, Gene Messer or Messer is a really good teacher. I mean, the way he approaches it and everything. And if anything, you'll get he takes a little too long to do some things, and you get a little bored. But he's a good man, and he's probably the best teacher out there. The rest of the stuff can be a little fast and intimidating. Some of these people take the attitude that you've been doing it for years, and obviously I haven't. So that's that. And the other question I get is, why do I talk a lot of politics? Well, first of all, that's what everybody talks about. You can talk sports. It's the wrong time of year for me to talk sports because it's baseball season coming up. Maybe towards the end of next month or something, or whenever the football draft is, I'll talk about that because I like college and pro football. The NCAA's are on now, the basketball tournament, but I don't get to watch any of those games except the final, and I'm not even sure I'm going to get to see the final this year. And my brackets are all busted up, usually the first day, so it's not something I don't know an awful lot about it. I can't follow it because I don't see enough of it on television down here to be able to follow it. So it's ridiculous for me to make try to have some sort of discussion. I have football down here because I subscribe to the NFL Today and NFL Game Plan rather, and I can watch every football game. Pro college, still I have to wait to see if they put something on. All right. So speaking of politics and whatnot, a couple of issues this week. The first one was voting rights, which is basically they're saying this is a racial issue, and they're probably right. It's more about the Republicans trying to steal elections and trying to win. Democrats have done the same thing over the years. It was called gerrymongering in the old days, where they would move congressional districts around so that the people that would vote against you, or the people that would run against you, wouldn't be in the district. I think the Supreme Court got involved in that, and that's pretty much not done anymore that way. So now they're going to try this voter rights thing. And of course, everybody's blaming the Republicans for the racism. Listen, I got a bunch of names here. I wrote about this today in my blog. Pardon me if you can't see me. I'm just looking down here. Names like Lester Maddox, Orville Faubus, George Wallace, Strom Thurmond, Olin D. Johnston, Horatio Seymour, and Theodore Bilbo, and Jim Clark. These were either elected officials or law enforcement. Jim Clark's a notorious sheriff now in, I believe, Alabama. You all should know Lester Maddox and George Wallace and Faubus. Strom Thurmond was the only Republican in that group. The rest were all Democrats, all of them. The Democrats control the South. The Democrats control segregation. To sit there and say that racial issues are all Republicans is a crock of shit. These guys aren't the only ones. It's not a political issue as much as it is a people issue. People have to learn something, and Nelson Mandela was probably the one politician that really thought the way I did, and that my mom did, and that is that we have to get together if we're to survive. I mean, the only way you can prove that is if a Martian lands on, Canada or someplace, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Because the people will have to unite. And that's a it's going to become a big issue. I mean, the COVID virus might have kept people under control, less meetings and protesting outside. But I mean, if this keeps up, you're going to see 1969 all over again. You're going to see riots. You're going to see the black Muslims and the Black Panthers and all those people coming together again. You'll see new leadership rise. More of a violent nature. Both sides. On both sides. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's more of a racism is more of a white person issue than it is anything else. So I don't know how to cure it, other than what I say. Is you have to sort of work together at it. Where I lived, there wasn't so much of a black-white thing as it was a Hispanic and Asian thing, because all of the people from India and Pakistan that moved to New Jersey, and they even hold political office, and that upsets some people. The black people have pretty much established themselves. They're not. Racism exists, black-white racism exists, but not to the extent that it does in other parts of the country. So where I was, I didn't, have in my, as in my older life, after 50 or whatever, I didn't see much of it at all. I did see the Hispanic and the women. You have the problem with the women not being paid equally and whatnot. That's a sin. I mean, if you can do the job, see that I said something in my video about this. Where I have a problem with unions is that if you, my father did this. He was a treasurer for a controller for Georgia Bonded Fibers, and I think they were in New Hampshire at the time. And he wanted to promote this guy to run the floor in the factory, and he was immensely qualified for it. And the union wouldn't allow him to be promoted to that position because there was a seniority rule. And the guy that got the job was totally unqualified for it. He was lost. And what ended up happening was this is just before my father died, they gave this guy the job and then made the other guy his assistant. In the meantime, this guy is getting paid all the money. He's sitting in his office doing absolutely nothing all day long. And the guy that should have had the job is doing the job, but he's not getting the pay for the job. And that's wrong, And it's just like women, if you can do the same job I can do, if you can do it better, fine. Do it better. Get paid more. I don't care. That's my fault. That's my problem. I'm not looking for somebody to give me anything. I want to earn it. So that's my problem. If I can't do the job as well as you can, then I quit and go someplace else, or I accept the fact that that's the way it is. But people don't do that. They want the government to step in and do them a favor. Hey, this woman doesn't deserve this job. Yeah, maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she does. That's not your decision to make. Okay, so that took care of that part of it. Now you have the rest of the week was all about the mass shooting in Colorado. They bring up, well, there's a lot of them out there. Yeah, so what? You have a rural community that people survive by hunting. Okay, it's a hunting state. That's the tourism of the state: skiing and hunting, shooting sports. My problem with guns isn't that you own a gun. All right, I don't care if you own a gun. That doesn't really bother me. I'll tell you, if I was living in the United States and I was in a bad neighborhood and I felt or I lived on a farm and I felt I needed a gun to protect myself, I'd go out and get a 10 gauge pump action shotgun, like the police use, to blow open those doors. You see them in the TV, they blow the hinges right off the doors. And I'd fill that gun up with slugs. And I guarantee you something, if I hit you as you're coming through the door, you're going to go back through that door. With an AR-15, you may kill the guy, you may not, but you may not knock him down either. They don't have a lot of knockdown power unless you're wearing a vest and somebody hits you in the chest, and that's lockdown power. But guns are. I'm not against guns. I love shooting. I haven't done it in years because I don't have the availability of it. I don't own any guns because it'd be ridiculous for me to own guns where I live. There's too many people around. Where am I going to shoot them? In the backyard? There was a time when I could do that. You can't do that anymore. You can't. I was watching some guy had an air rifle about 3-4 days ago. I was walking around this trail there where I'm walking my dog. He's shooting birds. And he points the gun at me and pulls the trigger. Now, fortunately, he was far enough away and I knew that the pellet couldn't even make it halfway there. I seriously considered waiting for him to come down off the trail and smash him in the face with a baseball bat, but that's not solving any problems. That's just stupidity on his part. Now, if he's stupid with that, he'll be stupid with a real gun. I don't know how you judge a person psychologically. I'm not, I don't know what questions you can ask a person to prove that he's sane enough to hold a gun. I know for sure that, unless the guy's like drooling or something like that, you can't ask a shop owner to make a psychological judgment on somebody, whether, if he's drunk or something. That's another story. But if he walks in, and let's say he looks like a normal human being, he wants to buy a gun, and he buys a gun, but then he goes out and commits a mass murder. That's not on the gun store, I think it should be required that gun stores educate people on guns. I think it should be required that if you sell guns in town, you have to have the range capability so that people can use the gun as a recreational thing. I don't think you should sell large capacity magazines. Every rifle I ever owned was single shot. I don't miss, and that was back then. I probably couldn't even see the target today, but I don't miss, and I don't think anybody that's serious about it misses. The only thing a large magazine does is if you ever watch combat films and whatnot, you see these guys unloading the magazines. They're not even looking. You're not hitting anything when you do that. Your first shot might be on, your second and third shots are going to be slightly off, left or right, up or down. Depends on the level of panic in your system if you're being shot at. So it's not a stopping, a pistol, okay, fine. You get, my idea would be the old 45 with 8 rounds in it. Now 45 will stop anything. Bull elephant, But don't tell me that you need an AR-15 with a 30-round magazine to protect your house, okay? Because you're not going to hit anything. That was Lindsey Graham's thing, the senator. Now he can't see past his nose. He'd be better off with a shotgun. You want a gun to protect your house? Buy a shotgun, okay? This way your wife can use it, your kids can use it, whatever. They don't have to aim the gun. They don't have to be precise, okay? A 30-round magazine does nothing. If you can't take it to a target range. If you do, you're just going to blow your ammo, and it's expensive. All right. So you take a 30-round magazine hunting. If it takes you 30 rounds to take down a deer, turn your rifle in because you're blind and you can't see what you're doing, and you shouldn't have a gun. That's not a. That to me makes common sense. You don't need a high capacity magazine for anything else other than war. And that's what these people are telling you. We're preparing for the end of times. We're preparing for the uprising. What uprising? You see a race riot or something, and it's 2,000 miles away from you in another state. What are you going to do? Pack your guns up and go to that state? Now there are people that will do that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that will do that. Black, white, whatever. I'm getting bored here. Let's see. How's the weather where you guys are? We're in our rainy season down here, which means it goes from 90 degrees to 60 degrees. There's this clouds come in. I mean, that's the most really amazing thing about the weather down here is that the sun can mix it. Going behind a cloud can drop the temperature 20 degrees right away. You know, like I said, I can't talk sports this time of year. I hate baseball. Baseball is like watching baseball. I know. Here's my friends going. What are you, a fucking idiot? You hate baseball? Yeah, it's like watching grass grow. These guys get paid hundreds of millions of dollars. All right, you can't use the excuse the possibility of injury at a baseball game. Serious career-ending injury is like 0.1111%. You know, it's astronomical. So don't say that's why you pay them. Oh well, they could leave and go to another team. Who cares? They're only good for 2 or 3 years. You got these guys are only good for a few years. You know, to be worth that kind of money. You know, don't pay him 12 years for 100 or 340 million dollars for 12-year contract because he's not going to be good at the end of 12. You're paying him to sit on. You're basically paying him to retire. I know the contracts are structured so that they don't get all the money at one time. And I know the agents take like 25 to 30% right off the top, and taxes take another 50%. So they have to hide the money places and everything. Yeah, I understand all the economics of it, but it's still they're overpaid. Baseball players are overpaid. Um, golfers aren't. Golfers, I don't know whether you could say they're overpaid. I think it's a they have to win. So I mean, it's they have to perform if they're going to win, and they don't. You know, they don't always win every week, so I don't know how much money they make. The endorsement kind of thing is a little ridiculous. You know, um, I don't care who makes the footballs I play with or anything like that, or I don't need Joe Namath's name on it, or Terry Bradshaw, or Brady, or anybody else's signature on it. You know, they're all the same. They're not going to go any differently. They're all the same. You know, so I don't need that stuff in my life. It's it's a gimmick, I think. You know, to make you to buy the stuff, you know, to put somebody's name on it, you know, and they endorse it, the product you should use. What was it? There's a I forget the name, rapper's name, Little, or I don't know. Anyhow, this guy's got he's selling these shoes now that have human blood in them, and I'm like, okay, that's gone about as far as you can possibly go, you know. I remember not that long ago, not growing up because it would be different then, but I know back when I was uh, young, 30s, 40s, right? You would see a young kid. There's two things young people have nowadays. Okay, that to me makes absolutely no sense. They have a $200 pair of sneakers that they walk around with, dragging their feet. They're untied, you know, but they're $250, $300 pair of sneakers. Okay, I don't know how much better they are because I remember the Celtics playing in Converse, and there was, you know, that was it, you know. And so I don't. They were the greatest team in basketball for you. And they still probably were the best teams in basketball ever. Then you have cell phones. Okay, there is a homeless guy that lives up underneath a bridge by me. He's got an Apple iPhone. He can't buy clothes. He can't get his feet fixed. He can't get shoes, but he can have an iPhone. That makes no sense to me. You know, you see this with kids. Every kid in the country, whatever country you are, has a cell phone. Now, I understand the purpose of the cell phone. It's to keep in contact with your children. It's not what they use it for, but that's the premise that people get cell phones. Well, mommy, Johnny has a cell phone, and I'll be able to call you if I'm going to be late and let you know where I am. They don't, but hey, you bought him a cell phone. Um, it's like, why do you need a new iPhone every year? Every time a new iPhone comes out, six, seven, eight, nine, $1,200. People buy it. People stand in line to get it. Why? It's no because it's got better games. You can take pictures with it better. Most people don't take that. They take selfies. They don't do high class photography work with their phones. Uh, my phone it's an older phone, my cell phone, and my wife makes me carry it. It doesn't work outside, but she makes me carry it anyhow. And I, if I see a butterfly or if I see an animal that I want to take a picture of, by the time I get the phone out, by the time I get it on, by the time I get it focused, the animal's changed. It's gone, or the insect is gone. My camera I pull it out, push the button, take the picture. That fast. Now, you want to spend the money on a camera and a phone and get the iPhone, which supposedly does all that stuff. Be my guest. Makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm sure it does to other people, and I don't want to insult other people, but you're stupid. So, don't like it? Tough shit. That's me telling you. That's stupid. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, I missed a birthday this week. Or last week it was probably. My friend's girlfriend, I missed it, just a sign of getting old. I apologized to her today. I sent her a nice picture, and the picture didn't come through. That's me and Facebook. We're going to go toe to toe one of these days. I wish I had access to some better equipment that I could teach them a lesson, but I don't. It's too expensive, and I'm not really going to buy something just to hack into Facebook and then leave it and then throw it away so they can't catch me. That's kind of stupid. I like doing these videos. Like I say, I have a tendency to wander a little bit, and I've tried to figure out whether that's my old age or the fact that I don't get to speak English a lot or talk to people a lot during the week, and that this is sort of my hi, how are you? How you doing? What's going on? People don't. There's a way to comment here, live chat. It says, but I don't know if I have to turn something on or what. But nobody seems to want to talk to me. But that's all right. There's only one person watching me most of the time, anyhow. That's the same with my other videos. I have 66 videos up posted of Antonia and Fats. People say, "Oh, you're making money on." You got to get something like 1,000 people to look at it to be before they'll even consider paying you anything. It wasn't quite that much when I started doing this years ago, but it is now. And I don't care. This is like writing. I did all. It's like my writing. It's like my wood carving, like my wood burning, all that stuff. I do that to maintain a level of sanity. There is no place for me to go around here. It doesn't cost me money to get there. There's nothing to do when I get there. It's a mall or something like that. There's no like, hey, you can go play pool. So you don't want to play pool in a pool hall around here. Okay, that's like, that's not that's just dangerous. That's stupidity. That's the problem with one problem that this country has is that there are a lot of places you can go to that just really aren't safe for an American walking around by himself. Even an old guy who doesn't give a shit. So I stay home a lot. Me and the dog. I try to get her to come around here, but every time I get on this thing, she goes hides. Or she sits right behind me and I can't get her to move. You're talking a very overweight Labradoodle, spoiled beyond everything I ever said you shouldn't do to a dog. I'm doing with this dog, and I'm going to regret it one of these days. But I love her, and she's a lot of fun for me. She keeps me company. You know, she was with me when I lost Flounder, and those of you that know me know I had the cat for 20 years. Uh, so, I miss him a lot. He was a real close friend, snuggled with me all the time. Antonia is starting to understand when I don't feel good. She like when I want to play, she's beginning to understand that. It's a long process. She's had a few owners, from what I understand, and you know, because she barks a lot. She barks at everybody. She doesn't mean anything. Some of it's to protect me. Some of it's because she just doesn't like whatever she's barking at. It's a bad day. She's hungry or she wants to go inside. Um, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, if I was single, boy, this is the dog. She's so cute, and you can see a little bit from the picture. And she's so different than everybody else. Every woman that walks by wants to pet her and say hello to her, and she will let you. She knows. If she was, she's more of a guy. She flirts like a guy. I mean, it's amazing. Anyhow, I'm hoping to see. Oh, I know it's new. I get my first vaccine shot Saturday. All things, if everything goes all right, I should get it. Um, what else? Oh, you can't see me. Even if I take my glasses off, I can tell you won't be able to tell. Or maybe you can. I can't tell if you can see it. My eyes look all red in here. That's some sort of very strange rash that I'm getting off of from the masks. And I get it down here, across here, and nothing seems to stop it. They call it mask rash. It actually exists. It's a medical phenomenon. They tell you put Vaseline on it at night. When you go to sleep. And I slide out of bed when I do that, though. Um, See if you guys could say stuff to me, say something to me. I could, give you a sarcastic reply or something. We could get a little fight going, a little argument, something going on. I have to try and figure out how to do that. But whatever, that's not important. In fact, if you watch this, I thank you very much for doing so. I hope I don't bore you too much. If you have a question, I will answer questions about wood burning and stuff like that. If you want to write me, go to Facebook page and ask me, or come here and ask me in the comment section. I would be more than happy to answer you on a live and show you on live in my live video. But like I said, there are hundreds of people that are much more qualified to do that than me. Especially there's 100 more people more qualified to do just about everything that I do. But I'm having a good time right now. Getting all my work done. I'm starting to look at things differently now. You get to be older, so you start to look at things a little bit differently. I'm looking to try and get rid of some of the stuff I have, sell it, so it doesn't get given to relatives. So sell it and make the money. I figure, why should they make the money off of it? And that's what they do down here. Um, some of the stuff I want, I have a couple of things I like my grandkids to have, see if they like it or not. That's all right. Nothing I carved or anything like. It's just stuff I own that I would like them to have. Some of the books I have. Uh, that they can sit down and read them. They do speak English, and they read English and whatnot. I'm hoping that I come on here one of these days, and there's no turmoil and everything. I still have to worry about Trump coming back because he'll do away with Social Security in a minute, and then I'm broke and I have no place to live. And I'd have to hunt him down, or something. I'd have to do something stupid. But anyhow, that's it for me. This is. I'll see you next week. I might start doing this more than once a week, but I know I can do it on Monday because I know I have anything to do. We never go anywhere, so I'm home and I can do this. If I can figure out how to do it with my phone, maybe I'll do it that way. But I also have those 66 videos up, and I put them up a couple times a week, so you can, check my videos out there. Check my check my Facebook page out, Jeffrey Bruff. I'm at I'm on Twitter, Tumblr. I'm everywhere. I'm like shit on a rock. Okay, guys, take it easy. We'll see you soon.